Today's video is about breastfeeding and my experience with breastfeeding. I know it's such a taboo, it's just a taboo subject, and some people get so frustrated and some people are so passionate about one thing and another. This video will look at my experience with both of my children. I have an eldest who's 9 and Jacob who is about to turn 1. With Reika, who's my eldest, I breastfed Reika for 4 weeks, and this is something that I wanted to do. I always wanted to breastfeed Reika when I was pregnant with her. I would look at books, I would read magazines, I would literally go to classes to learn how to breastfeed, really, and it was just something that I wanted to do. I don't think it wasn't pressured on me or anything. I didn't feel pressured at that age to breastfeed, to be honest. If anything, I think family members was more saying, oh, you don't need to breastfeed, it's entirely up to you. I think bottle feed's more easier, but it's just something for me that I felt like I wanted to do with Reika. However, she was born and it wasn't as easy as all these midwives were telling me. It was actually far from easy. She wouldn't latch on. I was in pain. I would bleed. My nipples would be like red raw with just red marks and bleeding, and they would be so sore, and it was just really hard. I would try and pump by I didn't use the electric ones, all the fancy ones that they've got now. I would use like the A-vent one, and you would like pump it, and my nipples, honestly guys, would be so big and so swollen that I used to cry. I was literally crying. However, 3 weeks on, 3.5 weeks on, and my mum started saying to me, I don't think you should breastfeed anymore. You're not sure if she's getting enough milk. And to be honest, I wanted to continue, but at 19, I was only young, and at 19, you kind of listen to your family more or someone that you look up to. So I was debating with myself and saying, shall I do it? Shall I give up? Or shall I continue? Because Reika was feeding, she was putting on weight. However, I just, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, I don't know how much she is eating. And I think that's where, as mums, you struggle if you're breastfeeding, because you think, are they eating enough? Or, so they're the sort of stuff that I was playing in my head, keep going over and over. However, I felt pressured by my mum to kind of bottle feed her, because my mum would say stuff like, oh, I don't know if she looks like she's getting a bit slimmer to me. And it was only 3 weeks, so obviously in the first week babies normally lose their weight and then gain it in the second week, and she gained weight and she was feeding fine. However, I just decided to give up. I wish that I continued, to be honest. I wish that I had more support and people that knew how to breastfeed, or just by family members or just midwives, really. I think I would have wished I had more support so I continued to breastfeed, because that experience kind of scarred me. I didn't want to breastfeed. I just felt like it was just too much. And from the moment I got pregnant with him, I just said I'm not going to breastfeed. I felt major pressured this time. I don't know, I think it's because maybe the times have changed. From when I was 19 to now, so that was like nearly 10 years ago. And this time it just felt so much pressure to breastfeed. I think the only person I literally didn't have pressure from was my husband, which was amazing. Like, I used to question that in my head, like, would it make me a bad parent not to breastfeed? I was definitely judged, and sometimes I used to come home and cry. And then I was also worried about my mental state, to be honest. I suffered with Reika. I had postnatal depression literally for a couple of weeks when I had Reika, and I think that was because of the pressure of breastfeeding, and I just related it back to that. For the last 10 years that I've had both my children, I would say it has got so much easier to breastfeed in open spaces. I know there's still some people and some restaurants that are really arrogant. I'm not saying that society accept it or maybe want us to do it as mothers. However, I just think now I see a lot more people embracing it. If you're happy and if your child's happy, that is all that matters. If you bottle feed, if you breastfeed, if your child is gaining weight and your child is happy, that is going to make any mother happy. That's all that matters. So guys, that is the end of my personal experience with breastfeeding. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.